This is Garis Masculist MGTOW Flyers, that is 2 3-page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW, written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. This is flyer number 306, entitled Comparative Hit Rates on YouTube, Minds, BitChute, on my Garis Masculist MGTOW Flyers channel. Description. This flyer gives the relative hit rates of some 30 flyers from my Garis Masculist MGTOW Flyers collection of some 300 plus, to see if YouTube, that is JewTube, is censoring my masculist opinions. Minds.com, with its much smaller audience, scored a hit rate of 1.6 times that of JewTube. I'll flyer itself. Bigger. Comparative hit rates on YouTube, Minds, BitChute, on my Garis Masculist MGTOW Flyers channel. Prof. Hugo de Garis at yahoo.com and website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. It's well known amongst masculists and MGTOWs that YouTube, JewTube, censors our videos, demonetizes them, desubscribes them, and even deletes whole channels. The CEO of JewTube is a Jewish feminazi who is hated by masculists and MGTOWs for her hypocrisy, her attitude of, quote, it's okay for women, for feminists, to dump on men for the ways men oppress women, but it's not okay for men, for masculists, to dump on women for the ways women oppress men, end quote. This kind of monoconscious, that is, having had only one's feminist consciousness raised and not one's masculist consciousness raised, feminazi hypocrisy is hated by the masculists and makes them very angry. It's for this reason that I decided to copy my entire set of 300 plus masculist/MGTOW videos to other video storage sites such as Minds.com and BitChute.com. I'm also on Patreon.com, but Patreon stores its videos on YouTube, so that rather destroys the point. By storing my masculist videos on Minds.com and BitChute.com, I now have 3 independent sources for my videos, so that if JewTube eventually shuts down my masculist channel, the way it has done to other masculist/MGTOWs, then I will not lose my content. In fact, if JewTube does delete my masculist channel, every time someone clicks on one of my masculist videos and sees that my YouTube channel has been deleted, but they can watch that video on Minds.com or alternatively and independently on BitChute.com, in brackets, all 3 of which store a copy of the video separately on their own independent server farms, in bracket, that will advertise to that viewer that JewTube censors, and that will only generate a hatred in the viewer for JewTube and its misandrist, hypocritical attitudes. Imagine yourself using my website or my masculist e-book with its list of videos, and each time you click on the YouTube link, you get the message that the channel has been deleted, and each time you click on the independent Minds link or the BitChute link, the video opens successfully. Imagine what impression that would make on you. Both Minds and BitChute claim they promote freedom of speech, whereas that is blatantly obvious not the case with JewTube, which is increasingly pushing masculist/MGTOW channels off their platform. This lack of freedom of speech on the part of JewTube and the freedom of speech of Minds or BitChute only reinforces the contempt masculist/MGTOWs feel for JewTube, which is only shooting itself in the foot due to its censorship. As many maskers/MGTOWs do, as I'm doing, that is, putting up several alternative links to each video, then the comparison of attitudes held by the different video hosting companies towards masculism/MGTOW becomes starkly clear. The contrast is sharp, because on the one hand, JewTube censors and deletes whole maskers/MGTOW channels, and Minds and BitChute don't. So what I'm doing, that is, putting up several independent links to each of my videos, is a form of blatant advertising against the censorship of JewTube, making themselves hated, and deservedly so, due to their lack of freedom of speech. These dumb fucks. Now, in my own case, my Maskers channel on YouTube has not yet been taken down, but I do feel it has been algorithmically reduced. That is, the hit rate on my YouTube videos has been lowered via programming tricks on the part of YouTube. As proof of this, I did the following experiment. I had a look at 31 of my fairly recent Maskers videos, Flyers 220 to 250, and summed the number of hits, views, over these 31 videos for YouTube, Minds and BitChute. I reasoned in the following way. The number of viewers on YouTube is much larger than on Minds or BitChute. Therefore, the number of hits I get on YouTube should be noticeably higher than the number of hits I get on Minds or BitChute if JewTube had no censorship. After doing the stats on the date December 8th, 2018, I had a total of 1,014 hits on those 31 videos on YouTube, 1,643 on Minds, and 1,164 on BitChute. That is, that I'm getting roughly 1.6 times more hits on Minds than on YouTube, and 1.1 times more hits on BitChute than on YouTube. These two numbers, these two factors speak for themselves. The number of viewers on Minds and BitChute is much smaller, yet the hit rate on them for my Maskers videos is quite a bit higher on Minds. BitChute I only fairly recently put up, so there has been less time for hits to accumulate. But even BitChute outperformed YouTube. Therefore, I conclude that JewTube is censoring me by algorithmically reducing me, for example, by putting my site low in the search results hierarchy, or even not putting my site in the search results at all, as well as desubscribing me. In practice, most people don't bother desubscribing, but it was happening to me on a regular and timely basis, thus keeping my total subscriber count small. So it's clear that JewTube is doing something to keep my hit rate much lower than what I have on Minds and BitChute. This is a form of partial censorship. Admittedly, they have not deleted my Maskless channel outright, the way they did to prominent MGTOW/Maskless such as Big John of the former channel MGTOW is Freedom. But partial censorship is still censorship and is still hateable. I have the following prediction regarding JewTube. As more and more people like myself put up alternative links to video storage companies like Minds or BitChute, then JewTube will gain a bad reputation for censoring, as it is already doing. In time, YouTube will gain a reputation for being rather dull, tame, not bleeding edge, since the bleeding edge thinkers, the innovators, will have moved to other video hosting companies. Once JewTube gets the reputation of being rather dull, its total viewership will drop, and hence its advertising revenue will drop. The worse this vicious circle becomes, the closer JewTube comes to dying. In short, I'm predicting that thanks to the stupid decision made by the Jewish feminazi CEO of JewTube to censor, then in the longer term, JewTube will die, and good riddance. Alternative and today's smaller video hosting sites that offer freedom of speech, such as Minds and BitChute, will grow and grow, and take over the role that JewTube once had, that is, of near monopoly control due to their huge size. The writing is on the wall. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. And something new. My Maskless textbook with the title Masculism, Men's Rebellion Against Being Man-Slaves to Women, an e-textbook of 300 plus masculist flyers for men's studies courses. And have a look at the text for the link. Ciao.